You are a piece of corn with a little bit of butter spread on you. I want to speak about PulseChain and the Hex altcoins, and I want to speak about the community forming from within, because I want you to think about something. Okay, if the PulseChain community was bootstrapped by the Hex cult, I want you to think about the meme coins on PulseChain now, because they are now forming with the base of cultists themselves. I wonder if this means that the meme coins will have a higher stickiness factor in PulseChain. It's because, friends, see, we know this. This is our competitive edge. We know. So whether you like Richard Hart or not, doesn't really matter. Whether you think Hex is going to zero, PulseChain, PulseX, doesn't really matter. I just want you to think about these things and the meme coins being created on them. Because, right, cult members are making their own cult coins. You know, at first, though, this is where there's a bit of rift in the community. Right? It's actually huge. And the rift refers to the fact that, you know, friends, memes used to hurt Hex. I wonder now if they help, because when it comes to it, the casino in PulseX has that buy and burn. And how you got to think about it, friends, this is for everyone in the community to think about this. You got to think about, well, if owning PulseX is owning the casino, you do have an incentive to provide entertainment, which is what everyone's doing, and dopamine chasing fun in the casino to keep people entertained. In an ideal world, though, you would create financial products and unlock demand and all this other crazy stuff. But we've tried that. It's already happening in mid-curve DeFi land in Ethereum and layer 2s. But it ain't so sexy. And you know it's not. Why? Because they're doing things such as chasing 5% yield on Ethereum. So we're hoping one day that becomes, that's sexy to them, by the way. It's not sexy to us. So we're hoping that one day, PulseChain, for example, it becomes sexy. Because if it gets to that point, it means you've won the game. It means your price is so high that, you know, a 5% yield on something that's like blue chip and amazing is a lot, right? Like imagine you could stake Bitcoin and earn 5% yield. You know, there's a lot of people who would love to do that. Okay, so cult members making their own coins and the community. I'm just wondering about the meme coins here because, you know, we know PulseChain's undervalued. We know PulseX is undervalued. I'm wondering about the subcultures being created in here. Now, I don't have all the time in the world. Otherwise, I would go investigate every other layer 1 community, and I'm doing as much as I can, friends, to see which ones have real proper cults and stuff. Unfortunately, most of them don't, because it stems down from the top. So Cosmos, for example, have a great technology. The problem is that the leader kind of went away from the community to make his own another coin to try to change the tokenomics. So this is not what you want to see. It's literally like, I'm not kidding, imagine we were all really set on PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex tokenomics. And like, I want to use Richard Hart as an example, but I can't. But if there was another leader in the community who wanted to like branch off and do their own thing, okay? So we don't really have anyone like that. It's really decentralized, which is actually really good, okay? But it's that type of equivalence in there, you know? So this is something that we're going to have to keep investigating over time. But I think it would be a fitting end to the bull market if we have the best performing meme coins and sub altcoins across crypto and they were in PulseChain. Because I can see it forming in my mind where I'm like, I could just try and imagine yourself in the future, people saying, how did you know to buy meme coins and altcoins and lottery tickets on PulseChain? Why not all the other coins? Well, all the other chains. Well, of course, Ethereum has most of the money, yes, but you could explain it. You go, well, if the Hex cult, remember the train of thought, if the Hex cult bootstrap PulseChain, there's cult members everywhere. There's people who are like really, really passionate everywhere. So anything they get involved with, they're probably going to go 100% into. And this is the community in the city forming here. The picture I have drawn here is this cute little Paw Pleb, right? Shout out to the Paw Pleb community. And friends, one of my lottery tickets as well. We're going to speak of that too. But these are all the coins being, and I'm just thinking about, right, PulseChain going up would help tell this story because the leverage altcoins are all relying on Pulse to keep pumping, because it's very controversial, isn't it? Because when Hex first started, it's the monetary base of the community, right? That's actually what it is, Fred. That's why I know Richard, people joke because it dropped 99%, but forget the price, forget the charts. Hex's role is the monetary base. And it really is. It is the monetary base of the PulseChain ecosystem. It is where everybody's wealth was bootstrapped. It is the equivalent of, let's say I wanted to go build a city and you all came and joined me, but we needed to set up financial structures and all you had on you was gold. It's literally the same thing. It's imagine you give gold and then you're able to borrow on your gold, and you're able to go employ people in the city and build businesses and stuff. So one for one, it's exactly what's happened today. In crypto land, Satoshi gave us Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is now the monetary base of the whole crypto industry. Okay. So now Hex is the monetary base of PulseChain, the ecosystem. Now I think there was like Geordie Alexander, a couple of other dudes who think we're all going to zero. These people, they say you can never have a coin that lasts throughout the test of time with that tries to be base money. He basically said that. And I think that's not right. I think as long as there's demand coming in terms of more people joining, there is. Now, but I know where he goes. But he goes, eventually there hits a tipping point. You either get too big or someone comes and just steals you away. And the theory is that as you get, a certain size, people will come and basically poach off your best ideas. They'll give you better staking, better this, better that. But the network effect around the PulseChain community is bootstrapping it. So he was saying this before PulseChain existed. Now it's not just Hex by itself becoming money-based. This is why, friends, I'm telling you how many times I told you, crypto is a very long duration asset. That's why we're sensitive to everything, is because you're either on the board or you're not. You're either on the boat or you're literally on land. There's no in between. And the whole premise is that you're going to make it to the end where they believe it's the promised lands, but the ecosystem has been built up. There's buyers and birds everywhere and things have developed, but you had no idea they were going to develop. You just know there's a lot of people here and something is happening. Because, when you think of something is happening, you don't really need to know what's actually playing out in the future, the stories. You don't need to know that. All you need to know is the principles I talk about from Metcalfe's law, which is there are more people outside of the system than in. It's very highly likely more people will continue to join. Remember those hard numbers? I know like a hard family show. PulseChain only has 13,000 daily active users. It is freaking nothing. Same as Cardano in 2020. The numbers are small. Cardano went to 140,000. It did a 10x of the users, which was 100x in the price increase. I think it's easy for PulseChain to get there one day. You also got to think about scenarios such as the rest of the crypto industry being shocked by Bitcoin EVM, which is funny because Bitcoin EVM, people think that's going to be detrimental to altcoins, but not really. Once you start making bridges and Ethereum spirited stuff for Bitcoiners and they start moving further down the line, what ends up happening, friends? In the future, people are going to make applications that are going to be cross-chain. And so Bitcoiners will be able to access liquidity outside of their system, which basically they'll be able to provide higher amounts of leverage and money power outside of the system, which will be even more unlocking of the money coming in. But luckily for us, we don't need to wait for that, right? This is just the PulseChain chart, for example. Now, it doesn't matter if where you see it by the time, right, you see this video. When it comes to it, right, we know we've got a long way to go. Sorry, this is PulseX, okay? You just know things ain't expensive at all, right? This is Pulse chart itself. Man, it's got a while to go. So when I speak about these meme coins and these cultures, we haven't even started. We have no idea where this is going to go. Is PulseChain going to have the best memes? Are they? Now, obviously, the best memes came from Ethereum. You had Pepe, you had Ticker Bitcoin and stuff, but they have no allegiance to Ethereum. Pepe guys don't care about ETH. The Ticker Bitcoin, which is Harry Potter Obama guys, they don't care about ETH either. But I think it is fascinating to think about how that story plays out, because the stories and the people and the characters, all these, we don't really need to know anything. You just need to be early. You just need to be early. We know this. Okay, it's Bitcoin halvening year. There's been an altcoin frenzy switch. We've known it, friends. I've shown you. I'm going to make more posts about this too. I noticed even when I will tag a coin, I say, hey, I'm speaking about this coin, and I'll actually specifically say 15 times, Don't buy, don't buy, don't buy, don't buy. It's for my general knowledge. It's because I'm like investigating. It's not even in the buy zone. It's kind of getting towards it. But here's information that I can refer to back in the future. It's my homework, but I'm here showing you. Even when I have all the don't buy, don't buy, don't buy, people still go buy. So something went off as a switch in this year. Now, I don't know what that means in terms of where this leads, but I can tell you right now, this is exactly how every other bull market started. It started just by the switch flipping off where, okay, it's Bitcoin halving year, and now people are talking about a thing, and now people just go buy that thing. It doesn't even matter whether the thing is good or bad. It's just what gets exposure. That's why in 2022, a lot of people came to the unfortunate realization that the narrative doesn't actually matter. What actually matters is the fundamentals, which comes down to this. Which of the highest follower influencers are talking about your thing? That's actually your fundamentals. People who are presenting and marketing to everyone else for them to view and get the network. You didn't need the biggest. You didn't need the biggest amount of anything, the biggest amount of brains or logos or tickets. Doesn't matter. It's who can you onboard the most. But it's actually all in one, the game, right? So because remember, influencers, they're people too, just like me and you, and they have to be like sold on the idea that this thing can either go higher, or we're changing the system, or it's cool tech, or there's people coming in. Okay, so it's all part of the same system. But you kind of say that's what it actually comes down to. So if no one knows about your cool thing, no one really cares. And I'm wondering now in the future, throughout 2024, if we get a red year, by the way, friends, don't be scared for 2024. What if 2025 will be here? You got to go all in for that. No matter what happens, I wonder if we just literally, it comes down at the very end of it probably happened at the very, very end of Euphoria. It'll just come down to, there'll just be a full month where the thing to do to make money is literally you buy every single freaking main influencer coin, what they're talking about, every single medium, low cap, and they just things start going. I wonder. But I'm not going to rely on that, and you're not either, because that's all it is. We're just guessing, and we're wondering, okay? That's why we buy strong core altcoins. That's why we're doing this deep research. I've shown you stuff like, for example, when it comes to PulseChain, like, well, this is our competitive edge, man. We know everyone in the community, right? Yes, don't take away money from the PulseChain, PulseX and Hex, the core coins. But then on the other hand, we need the ecosystem to flourish. So everyone's going to have to figure out whatever they want. But it's never been done before, because no other layer one chain has a store of value base money like Hex with like a super strong cult to do that. You see, everyone in Ethereum is open-minded. For example, Davey Hoffman has Solana, right? So it's a different mindset. It's like Bitcoin, this is the one and only way, and Ethereum is it's open, right? Now we have the clashing of them in the Hex and PulseChain community. I don't know how it plays out. I can just tell you from looking at the charts, Ethereum is gaining over Bitcoin over time. It's not just like completely destroying Bitcoin, but it's just trending up over time. Just more and more people want to be open-minded when it comes to these. It doesn't mean Bitcoin's useless. Like, it just won't mean Hex is useless, but I'm just showing you, and it makes sense, right? People want, it's funny, Hex people want a finished product. Bitcoin people want a finished product. Ethereum and PulseChain people don't want a finished product. They always want something new coming, more transactions. Oh, there's going to be more meme coiners. There's going to be more altcoins. There's going to be a new project deployed, right? Alex is making the Unity project with Icosa Hedron. So Icosa is leverage on Hex. Why? Alex is going to let you stake cross-chain, maybe use Icosa for burning fee. We don't know, buy and burn fee. You know what I mean? We want those types of things to speculate on. You say just imagination goes wild. That's ultimately what it comes down to, okay? So I don't know how it plays out. The good thing is we're still early. That's the most important part. But at some point, we won't be early. Until then, like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.